Ravi sir.
Hello.
Srikanth sir.
Yes, sir.
Shall I start, sir?
Srikanth, sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir. One second, sir. I will give the small introduction about you, sir. Yeah, very good morning to all. I welcome you all for the 10th day of technology-based entrepreneurship development program in aquaculture, sponsored by Department of Science and Technology, Government of India. The first session will be handled by Mr. Srikanth. Mr. Srikanth, sir, proprietor of the Maharaja Hatcheries, Nellore. He is an outstanding fishery professional among the aquaculture farmers. He has a tremendous experience in carp aquaculture and scampi culture. He is also very much interested in seed production of scampi culture. Apart from seed production, he is an expert and given the technical assistant to about 5,000 hectares of farming areas in various parts of Andhra Pradesh. Presently, he is keen to develop scampi culture in various states like Haryana, Madhya Pradesh, and so on. He has received several state and central government awards for his contribution in the aquaculture field. With this background, once again, I welcome Mr. Srikanth sir for delivering the topic of scampi farming and its economical importance. Over to you, sir. Srikanth sir. Ravi sir, I think sir has left the meeting. Sorry, joined. Yeah. Srikanth sir. Srikanth sir, please enable your video, sir. Sorry, audio, sir. Srikanth sir. Srikanth sir, please unmute your audio, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Now okay, I think.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Fine, sir.
In between, sorry, I by mistake my hand put on the leave meeting.
No issues, sir. No issues, sir. Yeah. Yeah, you just carry on, sir.
Yes. Should I start now?
Yes, sir. Please, sir.
Okay. Welcome to the entrepreneurs or proposed entrepreneurs or trainees, whichever may be. First of all, I'm thankful for to Sathyabama University for giving me this opportunity to share my experience with the other farmers or entrepreneurs to take this freshwater prawn farming as a commercial venture. And you can start my sliding introduction, or I think should I introduce about myself?
Yes, sir.
Yes, I am C.H. Srikanth, proprietor of Maharaja Aquatics. So basically, I like to tell few words about my small history also, because you people will understand then properly. So I was purely I'm from agriculture family. I'm a pure agriculturist, and being agriculturist, I want to do some diversification into agriculture. In that view, in 1918 year, Tambaram at Padapai, in our agriculture fields, we started fish farming almost for the first time in South India, in our own land, digging a pond. We started fish farming. Then we went forward to start fish seed production. Then we promoted a lot of fish farms around Tamil Nadu, South. Then after that, why don't we do prawn farming also, which will be fetching better price for producer compared to fish. So in that context, I have started studying about availability of freshwater prawn seed here and there. And in 1983, I could collect some little wild seed from Lower Anaikat, Kaveri river basin. I could collect some Malcolmsoni, Microbrachium malcolmsoni seed and do farming in my along with my fish, I could see very good growth and all. So then I had decided, why don't we go for a proper commercial farming of freshwater prawn farming in a proper way. So then I was searching, and it took at least 7-8 years for me to find out the actual technology where is available. I have to develop my own brood stock by collecting seed from wild, because those days world over only the Macrobrachium rosenbergi, it is called giant freshwater prawn, Macrobrachium rosenbergi, that was only produced for that only seed is produced in hatchery level, and farming is taken up by some of the farmers who dig the ponds or like that. They used to do the farming. I could not see this. You can progress my slides. Hello. You can go forward with my slides.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes. When I tell next only, you can forward the next slide. Okay. So these are the egg-bearing female scampi. So I was telling about the hatchery breeding, no? So to produce the seed, we need like this mother prawns, which are already having an egg in their abdomen. You can see one brownish in the center. One is having brownish eggs. That is nearest to the dates of maturity. Because of the eye stalk development, the egg is turning into brownish, dark brownish. Initially, they in yellow color egg. Later on, it turned to brownish. But one more thing here I have to tell you. In nature, this freshwater prawn, even though it is a freshwater prawn, called it or named it, or otherwise they are growing very well in freshwater. But while breeding, for their reproduction, they need saline water. After this hatching of the eggs are remained in freshwater, they cannot thrive for a few hours. So these eggs has to be hatched in a saline water of 12 ppt salinity. Normally, black tiger, wanami, other things they used to do in 30 ppt. But why this happening is, normally in this nature, where the rivers are there, estuaries are there, backwater there, these animals will go to the backwater area wherever the low salinity is there, and they will hatch the eggs there, and later on the larvae will develop there, and once they become post larvae, they swim towards the river upstream, and they start growing in the freshwater in the upstream areas. So next slide, please. Ravi sir, next slide. Yes, yellow and brown eggs. Next. Of course, different stages of buried females. Yes, next. Enough. Wait here. So once this from the buried females, we got the hatchings. That is early hatched animals. We call it in Macrobrachium rosenbergi, we call it as a joya. And it has some 11 stages to pass on to become the post larvae. In the larval stages, it has to pass 11 stages. This photo is around the 7th stage, around 15 days old joya, which reached to that size. 7th stage, Scampi joya, stage 7. Next. So these are all the typical Scampi larval rearing tanks, you can say, Scampi larval tanks, where we maintain salinity around 12 ppt and continuous aeration for 24 hours. And we have to feed them initially, start with Artemia napli. Some people would have been known about Artemia napli. Otherwise, you can go to literature and know about Artemia napli. Artemia is a brine shrimp X. Artemia cyst it is called. It's a brine shrimp cyst. Artemia cyst. It has to be mostly naturally collected in Russia and American countries, in Great Salt Lake and in other parts of the China and Russia. Mostly we are importing that brine shrimp cyst, and we have to hatch them, and they are very young, very smaller in the size when they hatched. So that is the Artemia napli. That also we call it as a napli. Artemia napli is the feed for our young ones. 1 day old Joya 1 stage onwards, we have to feed them with Artemia napli. Yes, next. These are all the PL tanks. Once the PLs are, once the larvae become PLs, we will be shifting to some little bigger tanks, even rectangular or round tanks, whatever may be. These are all the tanks where we shift that PLs to here, and then we will slowly acclimatize the PL to pure fresh water. Within 3-4 days, we will acclimatize them to, because the Joya after 11th stage, passing the 11th stage, it will become 11th Joya stage, it will become post larvae. Post larvae means it is a full shape of the prawn, full shape of the prawn, and that is called PL. Post larvae means PLs normally. So normally we maintain them up to PL10 in our tanks, and also we'll make them into pure fresh water, and then we start delivering the post larvae 10 to the farmers. Wherever they want to grow, they will take these PLs, and these PLs taken by the farmers, and they have to start stocking them in their nursery ponds, earthen ponds only. Normally scampi farming is done in earthen ponds only, and even the nursery also is recommended to have an earthen ponds only, because they used to molt frequently, and when they molt, it will took long time, at least more than 12 to 18 hours to harden their body. By that time, the other animals may not become cannibalistic. They should not attack others. So if it is earthen pond, they will have the lot of hiding space in the soil. Also, they used to hide, or in the side by the bunds, wherever the grass, weeds are there, they used to hide and get molted. So to avoid their, to safeguard themselves. Next slide, please. And this is the scooping of scampi seed. How we pack seed? No, they are very small. So with a very small spoon, without water, or with only 1 or 2% of moisture, with a little water, we used to scoop them and put in a plastic cover. Next slide. So this scampi seed, we will pack like that, maybe 100 or 200 bags as per the requirement. And after packing is done, farmer will select one of the packet, and each and every seed from that one packet will be counted. And if one packet is, we found 1,000 or 1,200 seed, as per that, for the total packets, we'll take into the calculation. Even for some counting error or some transport mortality, we used to allow some 10% bonus or excess seed to the farmer. Next, please. So these are the, after the seed is stocked in the plastic cover, they were packed with oxygen. Seed packed with, we have to remove little the natural available atmospheric air from the bag, and we have to fill the bag with pure oxygen. It is a industrial oxygen cylinders are used for this purpose. Next. Next, once the seed is ready, means how we have to prepare the pond preparation. In a equal leveling, Otherwise, because these are all the bottom feeders, bottom animals, they have to, when we do the drag netting, if the bottom level is okay, it will be easy for us to harvest the animals. So next slide. If you are already doing a culture, you may have to scrap out the sludge. Earlier in the earlier culture, whatever additional sludge is there or any debris, anything is there, you have to scrape out and level it the pond. And after that, you have to do the liming with bottom you have to apply liming for the bottom. You have to apply agriculture lime. If you find very low pH or if you find any bottom spoilage, you can go for burnt lime initially. Now, if otherwise normally you can give agriculture lime. Then when you are going for pumping of the water, once the lime is applied, you are started pumping the water. If you are pumping the water from your own bore point or open well or bores, deep bore or surface bore, there will be no threat of any predators coming in the water. At the same time, in some areas, people are using canal water, reservoir water, tank waters, outside source of water. So in that case, you have to definitely use, here you can see one lengthy bag tied with the pipeline, about 60 mesh, 60 to 80 mesh filter bag, you have to attach to that. And you have to see that whatever the predator fish eggs or early fry or anything should not got into our pond system. Next. Next. Ravis, yes. And once you pump the water, you have to do proper manuring type, like you have to give some rice bran fermentation or some groundnut cake or some other like dolomite, which will have contain some more magnesium minerals. Such things you have to do the application to the pond water to get enough diatoms and plankton developed in the pond. Once the plankton and diatoms develop in the pond, water color transparency will be gone and water color also will be maintained. Then you will never have such a problem of algal growth. If you are not doing pond preparation well, you may find like this some filamentous algae, other algae, lab in your pond. It may be not good for your stocking. Next, please. So once your nursery coloring and all done, you have to also keep some shelters with coconut leaves or palm leaves or any other nowadays you are having shade nets and all. You can put shade net also tied in and there. Put some shade nets also there as a shelters. Normally these animals require some shelter place to hide themselves, to get saved by attacked by other prawns. So these are the shelters created with the coconut leaves. Next. So releasing of scampi seed in nursery plant. When you plot the seed in a plastic cover from your hatchery, so before stocking the seed, you should be very careful in taking care of your water quality parameters. See that pH is normal between 7.5 and 8.2 or 8.3 or maximum or 8.5. And also you see that having you should not have any ammonia or nitrite, other unnecessary things. Or somewhere some bore water, if you are using, some iron problem may be also there. If you do proper aeration, that iron can be oxidized through your aeration. So you have to better, before stocking the seed, you have to take water sample to the lab and test it properly, whether the water is suitable for stocking. Then you bring the seed And even then, when you bring the seed, sometimes if it is in a long transport, we used to reduce the temperature of the water in the packing packet. Local means under 200 kilometers, we never bother. We pack in the normal temperature only. If you are bringing in the low temperature from your distance places, for example, now we are sending seed to Gujarat, Calcutta, Delhi, UP, Haryana and all. So those places we pack the seed in a polythene cover with a low temperature, 24-25 degree, and put them in thermocol box and send. When the seed reach the farmer, already the temperature is in very low, so that animal will be in a stress condition or in the sleepy mode or in the, you can say, sterile mode. So you have to keep adding some your pond water slowly to that packet, so that once the temperature is acclimatized to the normal in that packet, all the animals will start moving normally. Until then, the animal may be keep lying in the bottom. When you see the seed packet, no, farmer afraid, oh, seed is settled in bottom, that would have died like that. It's not like that. Once you give the local water, add the local your pond water to that water. Once they are acclimatized back to the normal temperature, they will, most of them will start moving. But of course, there is a chance of 5 to 10% transport mortality may happen in the transport. Even though we provide some Artemian apple in the transport, due to some in the transport and due to the water change, the change of water or some reasons, some animal may get into the molting mode. When they are yet to molt, they become very soft. That time other animals may attack them. So that is only the reason for losing 5 or 10% in the transport. For that purpose only, we are giving packing additional 10%. And you can see left side one float is there with a thermocol float or with a tube, any tractor tire tube or any truck tire tube. You can fill with air and make it as a floating area, this thing. And you have to tie a rope around the farm. In a rectangular shape means rectangular, square means square, circular means circular. Whatever the shape pond is there, you have to, by the side of the bund, between 10 to 20 feet from the bund area, you have to broadcast the feed. By using already with the fixed rope arrangement in the pond, using that rope, this feeding boy will move around the pond and give the feeding. Every day in the same area, you will give in the same method. Next, please. Yes, these are of course in the distance place, long arm aerators. Aerators are there are different aerators. Sometimes you can use long arm aerators for with one motor, 2 long arm aerators for the both ponds. Or nowadays ready-made aerators are there with 2 paddle, 4 paddle aerators also can use. But normally, coming back to aeration, for scampi, it doesn't need much aeration like Vanami or Tiger. Mostly, if you operate this aeration during the night times from 10 p.m. to early morning, it will be enough. Because normally the oxygen graph will come down to only in the early hours. So, however, we are recommending the density of the pond maximum around 1 to 1.2 tons only biomass per acre, or 2.5 to 3 tons per hectare biomass. So at this biomass, you doesn't require the aeration whole day, daytime and all. Only during the night time, during the reduction of the oxygen time, you have to operate minimum aeration, maximum about 2 HP per acre. It will be enough. Next. Apart from this, these are the now aerator is in the running condition, you can see. Yes, next. These are the long arm aerators. Apart from this, you may have a question also, why don't we use the blower system? Blower means you have to use roots blowers and you have to use a diffusion aero tube in the ponds. That also more convenient. If a farmer having at least 4 or 5 acres or 10 acres, instead of going for aerators, they can opt for a blower system also. Of course, in the blower system, I have not included in this. This was a very old presentation. I have no time to make a new presentation. It is about 20 years old presentation only. Okay. Once we stocked the seed, we started feeding, we started giving them enough aeration. Now, our next job is sampling the animal. How is it growing like that? The sampling is done only through the cast net. So in this process, I want to explain you one more thing now. Normally, you used to take the seed from the hatchery PL10 and you have to do them nursing in a smaller pond of half acre or 25 cents, 1000 square meter, 2000 or 4000 square meter size pond. You have to do them nursing for 30 to 40 days. And after that, you have to shift the seed to the grow out pond. After shifting to the grow out pond also, you can start observing the growth rate every week. Every week you have to do the sampling and see the animal condition. How is the animal condition? Whether they are healthy or not, like that. And also at the same time, you will find the average body weight also. So then we will calculate whether it have reaching to the desirable size it reached or not. Like that, we have to do the follow-up. Next, please. Next, yes, sampling in grow out pond. So now you can see 80 grams. Females can grow up to 100 grams also, 150 also. But in the normal culture period, females are grown from 40 grams to around 70, 80 grams also. This is the female. Next, please. And males are usually grow to more than 100 grams. And here it is quoted as the matured males, above 100 grams and above, and they are already matured. How we will identify they are matured? If you see the slide, their chelated legs, big legs, are totally dark in blue, and we have to consider whenever they have that blue leg, fully dark blue leg means they have already attained to the maturity. Further, they cannot grow. If you leave it them without a catching, they will become loose shell and they may die in the pond itself. So whenever the males are reaching to the blue leg stage, you have to harvest them. Next. So there you saw 100 grams, 110, 120 grams itself matured, blue leg. But here you can see one animal having 135 grams, still orange leg. You see then the left side one chelated leg is orange. But you can have a question, right side there is one more chelated leg, smaller in size, that is looking blue. Why this is smaller in size? Accidentally, sometimes they lose their this chelated leg. So once they lose their leg, original big leg, they used to regenerate one more leg. So this is actually right side, you can see, this is a regenerated chelated leg. So that is resembling little bluish color. But as per our orange color, this animal, if we keep it in the pond for further 1.5 months, it will become to 200 gram size. Today, 200 gram size means more than 1,100 rupees market is there. The size, as the prawn grows on bigger, you will get more price. So we will harvest whichever the animal becoming to blue leg, we will harvest them, and whichever the animals are having orange leg, which can grow further, we will leave them back in the pond and wait for the further growth. Next, please. Yes, again you can see the difference here. Left side top, blue leg fully 100 grams. Here you can see orange leg. These prawns you should not harvest. Yes, next please. Scampi turns brown before molting. Normally, any prawn, just like a snake, snake also used to molt and they leave the skin. Like that, any prawn variety, like a vanami, black tiger, shrimp, anything or shrimp or a prawn means freshwater. Normally, freshwater, this type of prawns called as prawn. Wherever you do coastal area in salt water, that vanami or tiger or indicus, those animals called as the shrimp. So here, before they molt, they turn to their color turn to brown. That's one observation. Next, please. So you can see now very good molted prawn. Is it a prawn or a what? Anybody could understand this? It is just a shell. From this shell, prawn came out and it went off. It is only a shell, but you can see the full shape of the prawn. It is only a shell. Scampi after molting. Now you can see this slide. That is shell. This prawn came out of that shell. And they are very soft in nature after molting. And they usually try to hide in and out. So usually they try to hide in some bushes, other things, or in the soil itself. They dig some soil and they hide there. If they found other big males, if they are very hungry, if they are not, we are not feeding in the pond properly. If they are hungry, sometimes they may attack this and they can eat this also. That's why normally scampi farming survival, we expect little less only, around 80% only we expect the survival. Even from the nursery, even from the grow out also, whatever you stock, you can expect 80% survival because of this cannibalism nature. So now again you can see this here. The left side one is a regenerated chelated leg. The one leg the animal lost previously, but that animal got it back, the chelated leg. Nowadays in market also, buyers for a domestic market or hotel or restaurant or for the tourism market, they like this prawn as and they consider this as a freshwater lobster. Some of your people, you would have heard about the lobsters. The lobsters are only coming from the seashore. In the sea only they grow. In the lobster there are similar varieties: rock lobster, sand lobster, several varieties are there. Likewise, because they also used to have a big leg and all, so they used to call this freshwater prawn as a freshwater lobster, and very good demand. So the buyer we always asking along with this big chelated leg when they buy the animal. So sometime if we lose the animal a leg also, since it is regenerating, there is no problem for us in marketing. Next, please. Matured scampi males, you can see. Yes. Next, please. Matured scampi females, as earlier in the first slide itself I shown, no? Matured means they are already having a back, please. Back. Okay, they are the buried females. Once they mature, they will have the developed eggs and all. And these are all the buried females. And they developed eggs, you can see. Likewise, next slide, please. So from this, you can see the difference between the orange leg and you see that highly dark blue and lot of teeth like nails like developed on the leg part. When the orange leg is there, little soft, the teeth are not much developed. So you have to choose both the top and the bottom type of leg animals to harvest. Whichever the animal is having this type of orange leg, you have to wait for the further maturity, further growth. Next, please. Then I said no already. If matured males you are not harvesting, that blue leg, once they become blue leg, if you are not harvested, what will happen? They will become sluggish, they will not grow further, they will not molt further. Because they could not molt, no, the algae formation will start on the body and they will become loose shell, and this type of prawns no buyer will buy also. It is a loss. So we have to be carefully watching our pond. Once some matured animals are there in the pond, we have to do the harvest, partial harvest. Next, please. Next, harvesting of scampi in grow-out ponds. Those days, mostly a lot of fishermen used to be available. Mostly scampi harvest used to be done by cast net only. Now you see, and there bund, there are so many people standing and putting a cast net. Next slide. Next slide. Next, please. You can see this. So, Maharaja Aquatics as a hatchery owner, back, please. One more back. You are going forward. Back. Yes, remain here. Again went back, I think. Yes. So normally we demonstrate through some farmers' ponds to other farmers, scampi farming. So likewise we demonstrated, we started with a few acres in 1990, and by the time of 2000 to 2020, 2002 years, the scampi farming went up to more than 50,000 acres in Andhra Pradesh, and in some parts of other states also little farming was taken place. And through proper demonstration and proper successful farming, we could take forward the scampi farming in a big way. And during the year 2000, 2001, India is the largest scampi exporter in the world. We are the largest scampi exporter in the world. Those days, the total production of the world is around 1 lakh tons, and we used to export about 40 to 50,000 tons. Next to us, some Bangladesh, our neighbor country, used to have some farming and all. And Thailand, Taiwan, here and there in Hawaii, somewhere in US, little farmings are there, but not as big as India doing. But of course, China doing a lot of scampi farming, but their reports are not they may be producing more also, but they consume everything there itself. They are not exporting, and so their results are not well known to us. Next, please. After harvesting, the post-harvest handling is very, very important. Next, please. Only one slide. Next.
So now we are in post-harvest handling and grading of scampi.
Yes. Right. That slide not coming, huh? Yes, correct. Because once we harvest, the post handling is very, very important. Why no? If you handle with normal hands and if the labor is not washed their hands properly, we may end up with some type of bacteria. Total plate count may increase. So we ask the farmers to, when they used to grade them or pack them into boxes, we ask them to use gloves. You can see in the photo, the handling people are using, girls are using gloves also. So this gives to the quality performance. When we export our animal to other countries, they are very particular about the quality of the animal. Total plate count of the bacteria also they will be very much concerned. So we have to handle it very properly handled before sending them to the processing plant. Now next, sir. Ravi sir.
Yes, sir. Changed, sir.
Ravi sir. Next slide, not coming. Yes. This is a headless. Of course, those days, exporter used to buy only headless. So farmer themselves keep the workers and they make it headless. This is called tail on, shell on, headless. Scampy tails for export, ready for export. Of course, now here I have to mention something. Not only for export, our population is now we are number one in the population. At least if we are not in other aspects, of course, in nowadays we have becoming the leader in space technology also, like our Chandrayaan 3 also landed already. And we are top in the population also. We have exceeded China in the population already. If due to subject to correction, as per the newspaper news I am telling. So having such a big population in our country, say about 140 million or something, there's a lot of demand for domestic also. We need a lot of scampi to be supplied in our domestic market also for our own population to have healthy, tasty and high protein prawn to be consumed by our consumers or our population in our country, apart from export. Of course, because we are getting very premium rate and mostly we are concentrating on export. But for scampi, there is a lot of scope for domestic market. Already it is in domestic is also very well marketed. And this slide is, of course, I have received a national award in 2001 through our Honorable Minister Nitish Kumar, then Agriculture Minister. It is the award name is Dr. Hiralal Chaudhary Gold Medal. Who is this Dr. Hiralal Chaudhary? Dr. Hiralal Chaudhary is a scientist who invented and developed induced breeding technology for the first time in our country for major carp fishes and other fishes in our country. So in his name, some award used to be given, and I was awarded this. I'm not interested to just show my award. Why this award was given? That is the main important. Even though I started as agriculture farmer and become a fish farmer, became a fish hatchery owner, then become a scampi farmer, then become a scampi hatchery owner, then become a scampi prawn farms promoter. Then I started promoting, helping many exporters to get their material in quality. And in the entire system integration, I worked with my own interest. That is, this industry should be highly helpful to our all neighbor farmer communities. So I am a farmer, I respect farmer, I work for farmer, I do for farmer. So I'm a pro farmer. So I was done a lot of work in scampi farming developments only to make other farmers also to make enough profit from this scampi farming. So by identifying this, Government of India voluntarily came forward and given me some gold medal and award. Thankful for the farmers who have all taken my help and done so much good crops that time, which made me to achieve this award. Next, please. And as I was mentioning, in year 2002-3, it went to the peak of the culture. And again, same story, like in agriculture, you see lot of farmers were cheated with duplicate fertilizers or mainly duplicate seed, whether paddy seed, vegetable seed, or cotton seed. Many farmers in India become bankrupt because of the failure of the seed quality. So during the 2002 and 3, due to heavy demand for the scampi seed, some hatchery fellows, some multinational companies have started importing seed from Thailand and delivering the seed to the farmers. That they have done without any permission. Just they done like a smuggling type, and they have done all that seed brought from the Thailand, brought in a virus to our country. Until then, when we started, I actually started commercial farming in 1990s, and up to 2022, 12 years, there is no disease, nothing, everything going well. Whenever this 2001 and 2, this Thailand seed came into our country, scampi, this Macrobrachium rosenbergi having one virus that is called mRNV, Macrobrachium rosenbergi noda virus, mRNV. When the seed was imported from Thailand, that mRNV got into our system, and our entire system was spoiled, and the entire our brood stock and the ponds, everything is got infected, and farmers not getting any more good survival, good growth and all. So at that stage, our farmers community invited CIFA people, scientists, to come here and give a solution for us. So the CIFA scientists came here. I could not give the slides I am having. I could not give here the slides now, actually. Came here and they studied and they declared it, they tested it. And now whatever the available animals in and around your farming areas are totally infected with mRNV. So further, you should not do any seed production with these stocks, and you should not go forward with farming of these stocks. You have to go for an entire revival of the scampi farming with a new source of brood stock. That was only the advice given by the now present director S.K. Sahu is there, present CIFA director. He was one scientist and another Mr. Swine. These two people have given us very clear instruction that you have to go for a new development of new brood stock. So in that context, I stopped producing my seed I closed, shut down my hatcheries, and straight I went to Orissa and sat there, and I started collecting the stock from Mahanadi and some stocks from Chilka Lake, and started breeding them, because they are all F1 generation, first filiated generation. So first filiated generation, we cannot get good growth and all production wise, commercially not viable. So from that first F1 generation, we further produced F2 generation seed and started giving that seed here. And that time, this is the slide what was given. The article came in Fishing Chimes in the year 2006, I think. Selective breeding of scampi, started by Maharaj Aquatics. In 2004, 5, 6, I have developed this. And you can see in this slide, if you closely see, Dr. Rajalakshmi was there. I was demonstrating that brood stock, which was developed by me in Orissa, to the farmers and scientists community. And after that, we could show in 2003 and 4, 5, and 6, we could show some good results among some farmers who are using our seed. But pathic situation is, because of the brooders I developed there and I am producing seed in Orissa, my production cost is very high. But whereas some other hatchery fellows are selling they use their local brooders which are already infected. With that brood, they used to produce some seed and they give it very low price, at very competitive price to the farmers. But farmers always go for tempted for low quality seed and low price seed, and finally they were getting big failures. And I could also not continue with my selective breeding program, because unless there is no support from the industry to buy my seed, I cannot continue with my program. I ended up in 2007. But luckily, government came forward to carry forward this work of selective breeding of Scampi with the initiation of Dr. Ayyappan. Everybody knows he is our Director General of ICAR, and he was very much impressed on my work, and he insisted CIFA to take forward this selective breeding program for Scampi. And in the year 2009, CIFA Bhubaneswar had a joint venture with the World Fishery Center in Malaysia. With their collaboration, they started the selective breeding program. And since 2010, 11, 12 onwards, they are continuously passed on some generations. They collected broodstock from almost all the sources from India, like Brahmaputra, Ganga Nadi, Maha Nadi, Chilka, Vembanad Lake from Tamil Nadu, Kerala. Sorry, in Tamil Nadu, no more Scampi stocks. And Godavari in Andhra, and in Narmada from Gujarat. All the sources they collected. From that, all the sources, they done some crossbreeding, and they developed some better performing 100 families. And they are continuing with that 100 families now. And every year in the selective breeding, they are able to get 5 to 7% growth increment. That's why nowadays you can see it's only in 85 days, 84 days, grow at pond, you can see 70 grams growth. Another 2 months, these prawns in this slide you are seeing, they will become 125, 150 grams. Another 1 to 1.5 months. So within 4 to 5 months, like black tiger or like wanami, you can harvest 7 to 10 counts of Scampi within 4 to 5 months because of the good growth of this CIFA GI Scampi. One more thing I have to mention here, this CIFA GI Scampi. What is this name? Normally, there will be no branding for fish. Normally, on their species name only people used to call. So when I started developing the brooder also from Orissa, I started naming it, branding it. Those days, I named it as Maha 1 as the branded prawn. Later on, when CIFA started their work, they have branded it as a CIFA GI Scampi. And they have registered, this is a registered trademark under Government of India norms. This brand is registered by CIFA. And in the brand, they are regularly supplying broodstock to us. We are, since 2018, we are collaborated with CIFA, working along with them for production of quality seed and promoting farming. And we are going forward. And recently, for some more hatcheries also, CIFA given license, and they are also trying to produce seed. And because of this good development, so last 10-15 years, there is no Scampi culture at all, because there is no good broodstock and all. Now, several farmers in shrimp farming, they went into wanami farming. And wanami farming, we are facing a lot of disease problems, right from EHP, white spot, white gut, or white muzzle, EMS. There are so many disease problems faced by farmers. Not only that, nowadays, because of more than 50-60 countries are producing wanami, lot of production competition is there, marketing competition is there. The prices are also very much coming down for wanami. But whereas Scampi still now fetching very good prices, because only India and Bangladesh are little more from some Vietnam, very little quantity from Vietnam, are exporting countries. Only 1-2 countries are exporting, and whole world is having demand for the, almost all countries having demand for the scampi. So we are able to fetch nowadays very good rates. Now the average Vanami price farmers are getting is around 300 rupees, but whereas scampi farmers is getting average more than 400 rupees. And at the same time, I forgot to tell in between about the feed. Now I'm mentioning scampi also we have to go for a qualified feeds. Now we are introducing already earlier introduced, again we are relaunching water-based Magnum brand scampi feed for scampi culture, for culture farming, and with proper feeding, and there is no much mineral management or probiotics or any medicines requirement for scampi farming except agriculture lime. If you continuously give every week required agriculture lime, say about 40-50 kgs agriculture lime applied for each 1 acre pond, it will be taken care, and without any disease, your crop is, you can harvest your crop, and also you are able to sell the prawn at very good price, and not only for export, domestic market also picking up like very well. And here I can give one more example also. You can differentiate between what is the difference of the taste or quality between the Vanami and scampi for domestic users or importing buyers. You can very simply say Vanami is like a broiler chicken. You can say scampi is like a country chicken. That much taste difference, quality difference will be there. So we hope now, and this year we taken as a challenge to revive the scampi farming, and I'm considering it as 2023 as the scampi revival year. And this year we have promoted at least more than 300-400 acres farming in and around Andhra Pradesh, and also sends it to Gujarat, UP, Calcutta, Orissa, X places. And also you can see these are all the videos. You can play the video, Ravi. They can see active animals, at least 1 or 2 videos. You need only slide, no video. Okay, no problem. So yes, you can see the these are the PL10, which size we normally supply to the farmer at 1 rupee 25 paisa per seed. These are the PLs. And next slide you can put again. So these are all the juveniles. After 30 days growth, you can see juveniles of 30 days growth. After nursery, these juveniles also, wherever farmers required, we are selling these juveniles also at 3 rupees per seed. And finally, we are sending, of course, here it is in Telugu. People are not knowing that is nothing but Maharaja's Sifa J genetically improved scampi seed, where our booking is in progress like this. And I don't know whether you have any interaction session with them, Ravi, Mr. Ravi.
Yes, sir. Yes, 1 minute, sir.
So any questions are there, I can answer. I think with this, I can close my session. And
yes, sir. Actually, yes, sir. Some of the questions are asked from the participant side, sir.
Yes.
One of the participants asked what salinity required for breeding and how many larvae are there in one scope.
Okay, sir. Good. Larvae definitely it requires at the hatching time onwards until they become post larvae. We have to maintain 12 ppt.
12 ppt. Okay.
12 ppt. Okay. And once they become PL, we can make them into fresh water. Okay. Or you can in the growth also. I forgot to tell actually. Wherever some low salinity ponds are there, like backwater, 5 salinity, up to 7-8 salinity, you can do farming in low salinity waters also, scampi farming. Not only in fresh water, you can do in farming. Okay.
Yes, sir. So another participants ask, what is the density can maintain based on this capiculture?
Yes, sir. Now here, little lengthy answer I have to give. Actually, I missed all these things in the. Now it is good. Now separately asking, now people can note down is. If you are going for a mixed culture, what is mixed culture? Normally in Scampi, there will be around 50% male and female will be there in the production. And we cannot identify them during the PL stage. Maybe after 3-4 gram size, we can identify them, male and female. We can do manual segregation with skilled working labor. And we can separately do male culture and female culture. So in some area, if farmer having only one pond where he is not able to do mixed culture, we suggest them to stock with only 12,000 per acre. I'm not speaking about PL. Any farmer want to do for farming, Scampi farming, it is mandatory they should have a nursery system, and they should nurse the seed in the nursery system for 30 to 40 days and ship that juveniles at the density of 12,000 if it is a mixed culture, and they have to do the follow-up culture, and around after stocking, after 3 to 4, in between 3 to 4 months, they have to cull out they have to harvest out the females initially and sell it out. So after selling out the only females, males will remain, and males will start growing very faster after the females removed, because there is no breeding activity, there is no mating issue. So males will grow faster. So then lastly you can harvest males. Definitely males you will be harvesting more than 100 gram size. Females you may be harvesting around 30 to 40 gram size in that 3 months period. And if coming to next system, if you are able to segregate the male and female, male you can go up to 10 to 12,000 per acre. Male, only male stocking 10 to 12,000 per acre, or 25,000. And if females, since you are raising the seed and you are getting both male and female, so some ponds you can stock males, some pond you have to adjust the females. Female you can stock because they grow to smaller size only. You can stock more number, that is up to 15 to 20,000 you can do the stocking for female. However, the production will be around 1 to 1.2 ton for male or female per acre. And feed FCR will be around, for very good management, 1.3 to 1.4. Average management, your FCR may go beyond 1.5. Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir. So another participants ask, what are the advantages of monosex culture?
Yes. Now, yes. As I said, you should not allow them to keep mating. If the males, once normally they achieve to mating stage, mating maturity for mating, in around 3 to 4 months they come to maturity stage. So before that time, if we are not segregating them, the mating process will start, and when the male mated with the female, they pre-deposit the sperm in the female telecom. So once the female had a mating, the eggs will be fertile, and once the fertile eggs attach to the female, it have to maintain for 19 days, 18 to 19 days, it have to maintain the eggs by continuous fanning. With the pleopods, it will keep on fanning the eggs. And so in that process, they lose a lot of their energy for maintaining the egg, and further growth will be not there. Molting also 1 month stuck. So female growth stuck. At the same time, if you do separately means, because there is no mating, the eggs cannot be fertilized, and eggs will be, definitely eggs formation will be there. We cannot stop the formation of eggs. Eggs formation will be there. Eggs will come down to their abdomen, but because there is no sperm available, the eggs are not fertile. They will unfertile eggs will get spoiled within 2-3 days, and the female will shut down the eggs because they are not healthy. They are not live. No, female knows they are healthy or not. It will shut down the eggs. So next again immediately they will go for grow in the growing nature, and they go for molting, and they will further grow. Likewise, male also, whenever the males are allowed in mixed culture, whenever they are frequently going for mating and all, the male's chelated leg will become bluish in the earlier size itself. Instead of growing for 100-150 grams, sometime in 70-80 grams itself, they may become mature. Because of the continuous mating process, they go for early maturity. This is the science in the biology in this animal biology. As per that, so if we are not allowing the males to also grow to separately, we are able to grow very big sizes, like 100-150 grams, 200 grams. I could see, I forgot to send the slide one more morning. In between you saw one slide also, no, 200-250 grams also. That slide you have not shown for a more time. That was done in Ravi. Just go back. One more. This stop. This you can see the size. Each is having 250 grams, 300 grams. You can see in the hands, it's more than 250 gram size. It is also grown in only 6-7 months. It is in a small reservoir of 100 acres near Padapai. Some village tanks are there, no, like minor irrigation tanks, seasonal ponds, where you stock with very low density. They get a lot of natural feed and they grow to very big size. But nowadays, with proper management and all male segregation, with proper feed and management, we will be able to, in the normal farmer pond also, we can harvest such sizes. That is the advantage of monosex culture. Okay, you can go back to last slide. You can go back. Any more is there, Ravi?
Also, thank you, sir. Thank you for your wonderful presentation, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yes.
The next session will start by sharply at 1 o'clock. All are requested to join the same link. Okay.
Sir, thank you, sir.
Are there? How many participants are there, sir, now?
At present, 30 participants, sir.
30 participants. Good participation.
Thank you, sir.
For the big freshwater prawn farming development in different areas. Most of the participants are from South India or any other places also there.
So there are different parts of India, sir, actually.
Very good. That's good thing. Yes. Okay, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
This opportunity to share my knowledge to among the other entrepreneurs. Hope for the best.
Thank you, sir. Thanks a lot, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir, Srikant.